And the other one is more topical, which is about people's behavior during the pandemic. I feel like certain practices that were previously things that nobody would ever do are now accepted. And that seems like an example of what you're saying. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that shows through. I'm curious what kind of activities like you had in mind
Mhm.
of what things people are doing now that they may never have done before. Do you mean just like simply with things like wearing masks and like, I don't know, cooking at home for the first time for some people maybe?
Yeah.
Or what were you on about?
Um, well, I feel like a few things have come out. One of them is like parents that keep their kids home from school. And I feel like everybody should make their own decision. And I believe just everybody should consider their family's safety and do what's right for them. But I think that there are many people that would say the most important thing to me is that kids, my kids can be in a healthy environment, whatever that is. And they would also, I guess I hear a lot of people expressing opinions that, school should be closed because it's too dangerous for the teachers.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like a lot of those people would not have said that a situation could come up where the kids are not in danger, and the teachers are not in direct provable danger,
Hmm.
and kids should be taken out of school for a year and all the damage that's done from that. That's one thing, and then another thing is masks, which were popular in Japan, have been popular in Japan, and every now and then you'll see somebody, it's always someone who's Asian, I've found, wearing a mask before March 2020. And you'd be
Hmm.
like, oh, yeah, at least my reaction was like, oh, that's so, it's kind of surprising to see. And yet I'm so
Hmm.
happy they're being considerate that they're
Yeah.
sick and they don't want to spread their illness. Um, but I had never personally thought about it as something that something to wear all the time, including if you don't feel sick and stuff like that. And I live in an area where there's everybody believes in wearing masks, and I think if you don't, you're immediately um, seen as aggressive, like an aggressive rule breaker. Um,
Hmm.
Sometimes, if there's nobody around, I'll take off my mask to breathe. For instance, in my area, I live in Berkeley, and every now and then someone will pop from around the corner or something, and I can just see, not everybody, but some people will be like, oh my God, and I don't know what they're thinking, but I get the sense that they're appalled. um,
Yeah.
so that seems different. It's not, I obviously don't like the experience, but it feels like that person is probably like what normally a nice community member, and
Hmm.
would want community and saying hello and stuff like that. And it feels like they're doing something or they're engaged in something that's really different from what they expected. But I don't know what your
Yeah.
experience is like, and I don't know what Chicago is like right now, but
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I just moved to Chicago January 2nd, and I was living in St. Louis prior to that.
mhm.
St. Louis being in Missouri, while it is known as a more liberal, progressive city, at least when you're in the city, not really the suburbs or the county,
Mhm.
um, people were mostly abiding by the masks, but there was definitely like polarization of opinions going on. And when I would be driving back in from the country, if I was at a friend's lake house, like I distinctly remember pulling up to a gas station, getting out, grabbing my mask to put it on. And as I look up, putting it on, I see absolutely nobody has a mask on. Nobody at all. This is in the summertime, full on pandemic.
Mhm.
Um, and I actually felt like I would be more judged if I was wearing my mask
Right.
than if I kept it off.
Mhm.
So I mean, really, like, it goes to show that even if I would have driven maybe like 30 minutes more closer to St. Louis, it would have been a completely different vibe going on. I'm
Right.
not sure exactly, but I would say probably. Um, yeah, I think it's really interesting how people's behaviors have changed under this pandemic. In a way, like I feel like some people are more silenced because it is such a hot topic, and it's about safety, and there's so much judgment going on that a lot of people don't really want to get into how they feel
Hmm.
about masks and precautions and now the vaccine. People kind of want to keep it hush hush, it seems.
Yes, it definitely feels that way. And I don't know that I have seen another time in my life where people want to hide their opinions so much.
Hmm.
Because I've known people that are very religious, and some are somewhat evangelistic. Others,
Hmm.
your choice is your choice, mine is mine. But there'll be the occasional just mention because it's who they are of, um, Jesus Christ, or being godly or something like that. And I kind of enjoy when people share something that's personal to them in that way. I prefer when they don't assume that I should feel the same way, because we all, come from such different places. And I love the spirit of kind of individual freedom that's been a part of the American fabric for so long.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like these topics, even among like friends, are
Hmm.
often hidden. Not among all friends, but if you have someone that's
Yes.
like a medium close friend, you might hide this. You might be really scared you're going to upset somebody or offend them. So yeah, to me, the subject we're talking about is something that I've thought about the most now of all times, because I think the aspect of it that I probably think the most about is people deciding what others should do. Like, your kid shouldn't go to school, or you should wear a mask,
Hmm.
without looking at the individual situation or how the person feels, which I think is a strong thing to do to sort of exert control. And I think we all know that there's a line at which it's important to exert control, in which it's the government's job to do that, like
Right.
traffic laws, or not shouting fire in a movie theater or something like that. But that, to me, it feels like it is both the situations that I talked about before. Some people's behavior, I think, has changed because they've become very scared, which I understand completely.
Hmm.
And other people, I believe, when they were little kids, they were told to follow rules. They felt comfortable doing that. They felt deeply uncomfortable breaking rules. And that's
Hmm.
very strong to them. And it's tied in with a moral compass that you listen to authority.
Hmm.
And for some people, that is an ideological feeling that they have, that certain authorities, or any official authority, should be listened to.
Hmm.
And uh, that is them revealing their true self. It is not them changing. So I'm kind of seeing both, but I don't know if you want to follow this line down, or if
Yeah.
different.
What what I've noticed